Good evening. It is Thursday, July 13th. I skipped yesterday. Worked a bit, tried to get some stuff done around the condo, and still staying with Beth. Although I am now sleeping better. Gotten a little more used to the non-water bed. And I've gotten the results back, and there are a couple different kinds of mold in the condo, and so they're working towards hopefully scheduling someone to fix that.
Yucky.
But yeah, so yeah, that's very much a reason I need to be out of there. Anyways, today worked more, and then we went and saw a movie. We went and saw The Little Mermaid 2023. And I will reluctantly give it 4 out of 5 stars. It was close to 3 because there's some things I don't like, but overall it was also very pretty, and so I'll give it 4 because it was fun just to watch, even visually.
You dislike that much about it?
I dislike there were some serious things I didn't like. Okay. So I'm not really gonna go over the story because it's The Little Mermaid. Y'all know the story.
It's the same story.
But potential spoilers for things. So I'm going to start with the things that I did not like. The thing I did not like the most is Ariel's new song. And the reason is because she just loses her voice and then they give her a song. It's weak storytelling that she's just lost her voice and then she's mostly imagining it, but sometimes she's lipping along to it, like so it looks like she's singing.
She wasn't. She actively wasn't lipping along to it.
Yes, she was. At the very end, when it was in the dark room, and it's supposed to be like, oh, this is in her head, but the other people in the room are still there, she is singing it.
Right, but it's in her head.
But it's visual. Anyways, it's weak storytelling. It's them trying to express what she's feeling without having to do it visually, which is weak for the moment that we just had. It is literally, she just lost her voice. So I didn't like that.
I think it's a fun thing. I like the new song. I always love new songs in Disney. So we'll get
to the other ones later because this is the one that's in the don't likes.
I'm talking just in general. I'm not gonna talk about I like when Disney gives me more songs. I like it. I approve of it. Continue to do it. Shush to the other people. Also,
I think they could have done better new songs.
It's a good song. It was enjoyable. And I also still think that you get a good sense of what she's feeling without the song. Like, you still...
So why'd they do it?
Because it's a fun thing. And Haley Bailey...
We know. Whatever.
Yep, Haley Bailey has a beautiful voice. And you want to showcast it in the movie. And I'm gonna be honest... Ariel's a princess that's light on songs because she loses her voice a good chunk of the movie. So it was nice to kind of get into her head, give her like a little inner monologue song, because it makes sense that a mermaid would be thinking in song. It tracked with me.
The next thing that I disliked was the alteration to the top coverage while in the mermaid. Because she of course has a scaled tail, but instead of having seashells, which is a found object that she has added to cover her body, it's more scales. But her stomach is not scales. It's not like it's just scales all the way up, which would be fine. It is the idea that she has scaled tail and then a little human midriff, and then back to scales to be decent, and then back to human. The back and forth, I'm like...
Did you notice any of the other female mermaids?
A lot of them had similar things. A lot of them had more coverage, less midriff.
They did. I really enjoyed it. Did you see the little child mermaid that had the little tank top scales?
There were a couple kids and they were cute, but...
Yeah, so it was across the board. All the girls had scales on chest parts of their body in mixing and different vibes of how much of the midriff is covered. It was nice. It was nice. It was a wholesome little thing. It made them look a little bit more mystical, fishy.
I think if they wanted to go that way, they could have gone further.
to be fair, this movie had so much backlash with all of the Disney. They're like, really, are you doing the CGI fish? Okay, there was so much of that if they would have tried to change the actual Little Mermaid Ariel's color scheme and fishness, there would have been so much anger about that if they would have put more of it on her.
Okay.
To do it on all the other people, it creates that effect, and it creates the world that they're in that's like fish people just all look different with various scales along the way, because there were even some of the guys that had them up their sides.
Okay, so that is one thing. I'll jump off of dislike things to something that Figured would dislike and didn't, because like I'd seen the still images of like Flounder and Sebastian, and they looked bad.
They're fine.
They look fine in motion. They're bad.
Yep.
They're bad still images, but they look fine in motion.
Yep.
That didn't bother me at all.
Nope, not at all.
The other thing that I disliked, and it wasn't as big, but great song in that movie is Under the Sea. And traditionally, it's a song that is like a big group all singing along to it, to the effect that there are other fish playing instruments that are called out by name in the song. Something, the flute, they call it, but they don't have the fish playing the instruments.
Correct. I did also have that issue.
That bothered me. I'm like,
my issue along with that, because I agreed with all of that.
Okay.
My other issue was Ariel does not sing in that song. She has no harmonizing parts in the original song. They added harmonizing parts, which is fine in general because I like Halle Bailey's voice. I'm gonna figure out her name, guys. I like her voice. My issue with it, though, is in the original motion picture, Flounder comes up to her, whispers in her ear, then you see them scuttling off together while everything big continues to play. And instead of that, she's singing along. She's in it. And then the next thing you know, she's gone. And they didn't explain how she left, and that pissed me off.
Okay, so that didn't, but see, what it looked like to my eyes was that the point where she started singing along was when she was trying to distract him to not pay attention to her, like she was getting into it, and then he stopped looking at her. And
it very much could have been, that probably was their goal in it, but I still really liked she's kind of indifferent the entire time. Flounder's like, hey, look what I found, because that's how we know she gets the statue, is it ties into that, and instead it was just like a weird, like, oh, we got it, like, it just, I don't know, it wasn't a big part. It just made me a little bit sad that some of the things that I remembered weren't in it, but it didn't mark it down for me. I was just like, oh, I feel like they didn't explain her leaving quite as well, but
Yeah. There is a change that it makes me a little sad from nostalgia, but I totally get. And that's during Kiss the Girl, because they updated some lyrics in Kiss the Girl.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, did I miss?
Because there's only one way to ask her, go on and kiss the girl, is a little inappropriate thing to be teaching children, of the way that you ask her if she's interested is just to kiss her. So it is go on and ask her. It's literally, they just change it to encouraging him to just ask her.
Oh, yep. It was a very subtle
change. It was a subtle change, but that was a song like during music class in elementary school. Like I brought in the cassette tape. and I made it, when we were able to make the whole class listen to a song we wanted, I brought in the cassette tape.
Cassette tape.
Yeah, and that was what I had the class listen to, because I loved that song growing up.
A cassette tape.
I'm not that old.
I don't think I've ever touched a cassette tape.
Oh, I have them.
Oh, I don't want to touch them. It'll make me old.
We'll make you touch it. Another thing, so we talking about new songs.
But
Eric's new song, great, because this is a movie that suffers not from the original. Eric didn't have any personality.
You got Eric's personality in the little ship thing where he's like ribbing on Grimsby and being like, oh, come on, you're just, and so then you just get very much like a playful young prince who doesn't want any responsibilities. That is his personality. Yeah. And so he got
in this one, personality, and basically they just mirrored it, where he's like, he doesn't want his mother telling him what to do, where his mother doesn't trust the sea people, and it's just a mirrored thing.
It was
simple, effective.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
It helps even seal some of the idea of why these two are drawn together so much beyond just, oh, she's pretty and she sings.
And why it happens so quick. It's because they have so much in common that it's an instant bond. And yeah, it was an easy pick, but I'm sorry, I'm playing with my straw. But it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
I also liked the shift in location, because if you know, Little Mermaid's in France, and this is more in like the Caribbean,
yeah.
and I liked that. That was fun.
I like the tradition of it being in France, but it's fine. It didn't bother me. It made some cool, colorful individuals. They for changing something that I feel they did not need to change, they at least had fun with it, and so it didn't bother me. And
I think that the reason they changed it was rather than having people complaining about, well, France didn't look like that colorful and diverse, it allows them to highlight another culture, bring in some more color and fun and flavors in a way that really, like, I love the first Little Mermaid, but it did lack a lot of that. Like, you saw them having fun, kind of, in their little date scene where they quickly run off in the carriage and whatnot, but I feel like you saw a lot more of them getting fun. And again, it's a longer movie versus the short cartoon movie, so they did what they could, but I liked that. Like, I liked that you got more story and background of it. There was a more just colorful thing, and also Ariel clearly did not love the high fashion European boot heel shoes that she was initially her feet were shoved into, but then on the sandy beaches where people are dancing and playing music, she sees sandals and she's like, these are my shoes, and then switches into that. I like that little thing. It's like the girl, like, those shoes do look uncomfortable. Yes, the sandals do look more comfortable. So
continuing with the other new song, Scuttlebutt. I'm very mixed. First off, it doesn't work. It doesn't go with the rest of the sound. It breaks the atmosphere. It breaks you out of the mood. But I laughed so much, and I love the idea of I've known some fat pigeons. I've known fat pigeons, and I lost it. I'm like, it doesn't go. It's bad. Thank you, Lin-Manuel. It was so funny. It was taking advantage of the fact that Daveed Diggs was Sebastian.
Yeah.
Because he's got some skills.
Yeah. No. It was a choice, and it was a choice that I don't mind. It definitely did not fit with the overall theme of the movie, but I was actually, right before it happened, or like maybe right after it happened, that I was thinking that it brought a bit of playfulness that we had missed in the whole Eric meeting Ariel scene when she comes onto the beach and she's like fumbling around and like cannot stand it. It's like kind of flirty and cute, and she's like very much trying to be like, no, like, I'm the person, because in that one she does remember, and she's conscious of it the whole time.
Yeah, they did change in the story where she doesn't remember that she's supposed to get the kiss, because otherwise it makes her feel really stupid that she fails.
Yeah.
It does. Her not knowing that she's after it make her still seem intelligent.
Well, and then the other one, they just, in the cartoon, it's not that she's unintelligent. It's that she's in a half of a body that she's not used to maneuvering, and she cannot talk. And she's like, "Come on, but like he's just so oblivious because."
But by like the third day, where she's gotten used to some of everybody, that's when it starts. You start being like, "How is she not?"
And that's like right, like and again, it all same word, because by the time she's getting she got really close with on the boat. She was for it. She was almost gonna get it, and then the eels pushed them away. Same storyline. So.
But if she knew it, then between that and their walk back, she had other opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the stuff that's off camera, but there was time there. So it helped with the story with her character. It did.
But I did miss the whole fumbling silliness of.
But it's less of an awkward of her meeting the guy that she likes just being stark naked. It instead puts it on like a nice fisherman whose immediate thought is, let me get you something to cover you with. Let me take you to some women who will help you.
No. Before 2023, it was a great thing. It doesn't mean I don't miss it.
Okay.
Like, You're all mad about them adding a song. I'm mad about a weird, kind of embarrassing scene. Like, it's cute and silly and like it. So all I'm saying is that song adds in that vibe that was missing because we cut out those scenes for good reasons.
Yeah. So one of the things going in this with all the people that had all the issues with the changes that were made, I was like, she has red hair. I'm happy. She's the Red Sea. Ursula calls her red. So they emphasize that. They've named the other 6 daughters because they're the 7 seas, and they've more emphasized that they are the 7 seas. And I like that they emphasize that.
I did.
There is a point where there is a line dropped as if their mother had died, been killed by a human, which is trying to tell the audience that all 7 of those girls have the same mother and the same father. And I say, bull, they've been lied to. Triton is sleeping around. Javier Bardem, he's a wonderful Triton. He's a wonderful actor. I love him in almost anything I've seen him in. But he did great. He was a great Triton. Because he got both that freaking out and that he's trying to do good, but he has a temper problem. And that at the end, you still believe that he really loves his daughter. And even if he did the wrong thing, he was trying. He messed up. And
no, yeah. Even as upsetting and disturbing as the mess up is, in like, it's one thing to see it in cartoon. It is different to see it with like real actors. Like, it just, the intensity was higher. I was like, oh no, you're hurting her. Please don't. She's real sad. He still did real good.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think he was sleeping around. It could just be that the fish genetics work differently. The fish genetics work differently. Maybe they take on the color of the waters and the temperatures of the waters that they're born in. So maybe they were born in each of the seas.
So so it was they traveled. Okay. Sure.
That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
He's not a scoundrel.
I think Mel Brooks taught us it's good to be king.
What's that?
It's an old movie.
Old.
Otherwise, did you have any other thoughts?
I liked it. It was good. It was real good. Double thumbs up.
Oh, double? I didn't know that was on the scale.
It's a new scale. It's a better scale. It's called the chaos scale.
Otherwise, it's late, so we gotta get back home.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Join us as our journey continues.
Oh, you missed the thing. We got new cups.
Oh yes, yesterday we also got new cups.
And we match.
So now I have a water cup as well, so I'm not always stealing her water.
He loves it.
Anyways, thank you for joining us. Join us as our journey continues. Bye.
Bye.